and uh, especially to those who have been our participants in our past programs, be it data science, lean, Six Sigma, or CPHQ, etc. And before we start, let me ask you a question. And if you can just answer this question, that will help me to make a agenda for the training today. Okay, so I see that most of you are from manufacturing, oil and gas, banking and services also, some of you, and healthcare and hospitals as well. IT also, a lot of people are there. Okay, thanks a lot. And then if you can also answer this question. Okay, so there are around 30% of the people who are directly related to projects. So that's great. And the remaining 70% and 75%, they are not directly involved in any projects. But the best part is that you can still become a PMP or project management professional. So it doesn't mean that you have to be a person who's day in and day out involved in projects. Of course, you can still become a project management professional, because being in operations also, we are involved in lots of projects. So that qualifies you to become a project manager. Okay. And also, if you can just, this is the last question, if you can answer this, please let me know about your project management knowledge. So if you can just tell me. So if you're attending it for the first time, then I'll start with the fundamentals, basics. And if you have earlier attended some previous version of the project management, then maybe I will start with the little complex subjects. And if you are a PMP already, yeah, so it will be a refresher for you. So anyway, yeah, you not learn anything from this training, although you'll be revising whatever you have studied, and also you have already appeared for the exam and passed the exam. So I see some of you are even PMPs. Okay, so welcome everyone. Okay, great. So as I see that 70% of the people have never attended any project management training. So I'll start with ground zero. Yeah. And because just to cater to the needs of our participants who have never been exposed to any kind of project management. I'm not sure if you joined early, because if you joined early, you would have seen a brief introduction to project management video which was being played. So were you able to see? If you are not able to see that, just say no. But means if you joined exactly on the time, you may not have seen that video. So just let me know. Then in that case, I'll start from very beginning. Okay, so thanks a lot for participating in the polls, and once again, welcome to everyone who has just even just joined in. So don't worry, we have just started. We are not yet started. And this is the agenda. I'll start with the definition of project, because I see Anil Tikku has not. So he had not joined. So yeah, so we'll start with the definition of the project. Then we'll talk about some project phases, knowledge areas. This was actually more from the perspective of what those people who had already attended the training before, or who have been studying project management for the last 2 to 3, 4, 5 years for them. But I'll try to correlate whatever was there earlier and whatever is new. But Some of the new things like agile, etc., I'll be happy to cover. And this I will do towards the end, maybe towards the last 20 minutes. I'll introduce you to the agile as well. But as I see, most of you are totally new to project management, so I will spend more time on the uh, basics or fundamentals. And I see that again, a lot of people, again, more people have joined in. That happens, and as the time progresses, first 5-10 minutes, people keep joining in. So I'll take that time to introduce myself. I'm a chemical engineer, and also a formal welcome. Let me uh, uh, provide a formal welcome to everyone, and thanks a lot for joining the session. And today you are going to learn some the basic fundamentals and the principles which we follow in project management. And let me begin with usually this is the a formal welcome which we have for all of our training programs. So yeah, this I created during pandemic.
Hi, welcome to Anexas. Anexas has been consulting and training the professionals in the organizations around the world since 2006, and we have trained more than 150,000 people and consulted for more than 500 organizations, which includes Fortune 100 organizations too. I'm Amitabh Saxena, and I have designed this program based on my 30 years of experience while working in various industries across many domains. The whole Anexas team once again joins me in welcoming you.
So welcome again, everyone, and my team members who are there with me today. Naveen, Johi, Bavitra, Varsha, Sushma, etc. Niranjan, everyone. Sorry if I missed out on anyone's name. So they especially welcome you, and on behalf of them, I hope that you'll have a nice time the next 2 hours. Just to give a little bit of as I was telling you about myself, I am a chemical engineer. I somehow joined the organizations unknowingly. It was not by design, but I joined those organizations after the graduate engineer, as a graduate engineer trainee. I joined one petrochemical company where I was given a project to erect and commission a ethylene column. And after that, once that project was over, after 2 years, I joined another company which was into ethylene propylene diene rubber commissioning. Again, the commissioning and erection and commissioning and full. I had to ensure that the plant is also running. Of course, I was not the manager there. I was part of the team, but I learned a lot from there. After that, I joined another petrochemical company. This time was Indorama. So I saw the first polyethylene terephthalate plant of Indorama being again designed, erected, and commissioned, and that was in 1995. And today, Indorama Group is one of the not one of the, it is the biggest polyethylene terephthalate manufacturing company. So yeah, so it was not by design that I joined every time a company when it was at the project stage or implementation stage. It's just happened. So first 10 years, I had lots of good experience. And then after that, of course, I was not earning enough, by the way. So I used to work in shifts because later on, I used to join the operations as well. So I thought I'd like to earn a little bit more money. And for that, I started looking for additional certifications. And that's what made me today what I am. So I invested a lot of money. I became a Lean Six Sigma black belt, master black belt. And then after that, PMP. And then after that, CPHQ. And recently, last 8 years ago, data scientists, etc. And as I said before you, I've consulted and trained. I think trained more than 150,000 people, professionals worldwide, and have got a lot of clients, which include a lot of Fortune 100 companies too. And I have written books, and I have also spoken in various conferences, and that includes American Society of Quality conferences, PMI conferences, etc., etc. So why am I telling you all these things? Because I think that you can also achieve this, and not only this, but much more, because the need of project management professionals is much more than ever. And in fact, in fact, someone asked me that, what should I do to increase my salary or to be future ready? So I tell them, get 3 certifications, and these 3 certifications we are very well known for, by the way. So get project management, PMP, then Lean Six Sigma, and data scientist certifications, because these are the things, these are the skills which are not going to die, at least in the next 20 to 30 years. So they'll be very much in demand. And yeah, I have conducted training programs worldwide, in classroom as well as online. Because of online, it has become like spread the knowledge I'm able to spread worldwide. Today also I see people from multiple countries attending the program. So some of the physical trainings, which classroom trainings around the world, just to prove that I really did these training programs, it's there. I also take pride in telling that I was the first person to conduct the Lean and Six Sigma Black Belt anywhere in whole Gulf region. In the Middle East, I conducted the first ever Lean and Six Sigma Black Belt training in 2008. And in Europe, Australia, US, China, Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, worldwide, we have done these trainings. And a lot of project management professionals, more than 3,000 project management professionals have been certified after attending our training program. Our success rate is quite high. We belong to the top 5 percentile. Once in a meeting, I was told that we are in the 99th percentile. 99th percentile in the sense that, top 1%. So, out of all the accredited training institute, we belong to the top say top class, and also attended a lot of TV interviews, TV shows, etc., and written articles in Times of India, Economic Times, Dainik Bhaskar, etc., etc. Okay, so that was about just to prove that, just to tell you that I'm the right person to qualify. I'm the qualified person to train you today. I hope now you have got some trust in me. Okay, so now can you tell me, first of all, let me tell you that a project can also be completed without a project manager. Okay. But when this happens, and there are many projects which we see in day-to-day life, which are conducted without a formal project manager. Can you tell me what you see happening during the project execution if there is no designated project manager? And you can write in the chat box. And I hope the chat box is enabled. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you see happening? I think that chat box is not enabled. In case not enabled, please enable it. Okay, scope can change. Yes, Jayaprakash is telling scope can change. Okay. And what else? And it will not be completed in time. No proper plan and timeline maintained. Gauri says that. Yes, you're right. Gauri, you're right. And yeah, so overall timeline may change. Yeah, Jayaprakash, you're also right again. So let us learn. Let us start with some project basics. Okay. So this is a basic definition of a project, and I hope because some of you missed out on that video, so let me play that video, which talks about the what is a basic definition of a project. Let's begin.
Let me talk about a very simple yet commonly asked question. What is a project? Let's see how a project can be defined. In simple words, a project is a series of tasks that need to be completed in order to achieve a specific result. A project is a temporary, unique, and progressive attempt made to produce some kind of a tangible or intangible output. The output could be a product or a service. Let's look at what are the characteristics of a project. A project has a clear start and end date. A project has boundaries. A project creates something new and unique. And a project is not the same as a process because process is repetitive and project is one-time endeavor. A project can be big, for example, constructing a building or a road. A project can be small, for example, planning a weekend trip. Well, that is also a project. A project can involve many people or it can involve one person. Most popular approaches a project can follow during execution are predictive, agile, and of course, there can be one more type, that is the hybrid of both predictive and agile. Predictive approach is followed for projects where we need to plan everything in detail in the beginning. For example, constructing a bridge or constructing a building or a petroleum refinery. In these kind of projects, we have to spend adequate time in detailed planning and the plan is executed over the life cycle of the project. Changes are difficult to make. For example, we cannot change the direction of the bridge somewhere midway during the execution of that project. Agile approach is followed where you can't plan everything in detail, and when you are executing a project where the requirements of the customer are not fixed at the initial stages and might change over the period of time. For example, if you are constructing a website, then all the requirements of the customer are not clear in the beginning. Though the value the customer is going to derive from the project is clear, the requirements will keep evolving over the period of time. Such projects need many iterations before we get the finished product. And then we have hybrid approach. It is used in projects where a mix of both predictive and agile approaches are applied. This was a brief explanation of what a project is and what are the most popular approaches followed during project execution. For more information on project management, subscribe to my channel and get videos every week. Happy learning!
Happy learning! Thanks for taking out time to watch this video. To learn more, check out our other videos. Link is given in the description below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and have a great day. For more information, you can write to us on inquiry@anexas.net.
So that was about, yeah. So as we saw, it's a temporary, unique. Temporary means it happens only once. So Taj Mahal was made only once. Yeah, Statue of Liberty was made only once, and pyramids were made once. And they are all examples of projects. And as I also told you that traditionally we have been following a predictive approach. Predictive approach means we have all the plans in place in the beginning and then we execute the plan. But because of the IT boom, actually IT started applying this predictive approach and they did not get some good results out of it. So they thought of developing a new approach called Agile. And now Agile is being adopted even in the construction projects also, but not fully. See, you in construction project, you can't do a whole of Agile. But yeah, part of the project would be executed in Agile using Agile approach. Okay, so for every project, there are three main constraints, so to say. So what are the three constraints? One is scope, one is time, and one is cost. Also known as iron triangle because it's very difficult to change the scope without affecting the time or cost. Like in iron, in iron, it's something not flexible, right? So similarly, scope, time, and cost, at least they are fixed. And especially these are more fixed in a predictive project, like a construction project. Now, in order to apply some of the tools and techniques which we are going to learn today in our training. Let's imagine that we are a team executing two projects. Yeah, one is constructing a 5-star hotel, and the other is we are all involved in making a website for the same 5-star hotel. Yeah. So in this case, right now, if I want to apply to my 5-star hotel projects, imagine that you're constructing a 5-star hotel projects. Then in that case, scope, time, and cost. What will be the scope? Scope would be that what would the features or functionalities of a 5-star hotel, how many restaurants it will have, how many rooms it will have, how many floors it will have, and what type of swimming pool it will have, and what type of a gymnasium it should be having. So all these things, these are known as the features of a product, which we are going to execute, which will be our output of the whole project. Then time, within what time we are going to execute this. Say, for example, in this case, it would be 2 years. We'll execute this hotel, we'll construct this hotel, this project, execute this project in, let's say, 2 years. That's our time. And the cost, let's say we will be, I'm not really sure how much it would take. It depends on which city you are constructing. But let's imagine a city and let's imagine some numbers. So $10 million. So you'll be spending around $10 million while you construct this hotel, 5-star hotel. So these are the three things: scope, time, cost. These are very, very important things. And when I started learning project management, when I was in Jamnalal Bajaj doing my MBA finance a long time ago, more than I think 30 years ago, that time we had a project management lesson or a book. In fact, there was a full subject of project management, and those days they used to talk about 3 constraints. After some time, I became a PMP. So there I learned then some more constraints had been added. So not only you should be worried about the time, like it should be 2 years, completion time of the project should be 2 years. It should take $10 million. Of course, the scope means whatever is desired by the customer. It should have 200 rooms, and it should have this kind of reception with the Italian marbles and whatever. These are the scope. Scope, time, cost are definitely important. But on top of it, as a project manager, you should also be able to execute the project using the resources. Using the resources which have been allocated to you. You should be able to execute the project using the resources allocated to you. So resources means the people, both the people as well as the equipment. Like I'm giving you 300 construction workers and a 20 team of managers. And with these the team, and of course, you can hire some suppliers or contractors as well. With these kinds of resources, you need to complete this project. So this is what is known as resources. So resources are also a constraint. Now, you also have to imagine about the risks this project will have. There could be a problem of manpower. There could be problem of safety issues. There could be problem of government approvals. There could be problem of change in economic conditions of the world. There could be some war somewhere. You have to think about all these risks and take care of risks and prepare yourself for these risks. So you should also manage the risks. Yeah. And you should deliver whatever you have promised to the customer. That's about the quality. So now have got 3 more constraints. Yeah. So apart from this scope, time, cost, which is like an iron triangle, means why it is known as iron triangle. As I told you, see, if I change the scope, if I add 10 more rooms, what will happen? The cost will get impacted. Or even if I don't want to impact the cost, then timelines would get impacted. So if you try to change something, if I want to construct this hotel instead of 2 years in, let's say, 1.5 years, yeah, I'm in a hurry, maybe. In that case, cost will be impacted. Yeah. Or sometimes scope might be like sometimes I may have to cut down on certain features. Yeah. So something will get impacted. That is why we call it as constraints. Constraints means I have to manage within those constraints. And then 3 more I added. You have to use the resources given to you. You have to manage the risks really beautifully and also deliver the project as per the quality which is expected by the customer. Yeah. So one more constraint, because you have to also satisfy the customers. So customers should be happy. So now I have cost, time, scope with resources, quality, and risks, plus customer should also be happy. See earlier here, if you complete your 5-star hotel in 2 years within $10 million and completing all the things which the customer wants you to do within the resources, managing the risks, delivering excellent quality, you would be, I can say you are 100% in terms of quality. But now you may be 100% in terms of quality. You have delivered everything what the customer said 2 years ago. But if the customer is still unhappy, that means you did not manage the project really well. So for that, you need to engage your customers right from the beginning and keep them happy. So even that is also now included. Customers should also be happy. So now there are 7 constraints. 7 constraints. Yeah. And you have to balance, as a project manager, you have to balance within these 7 constraints. Now it's a difficult job, but not impossible, because you have got lots of tools and techniques which we'll be learning. Now, project life cycle usually has got 3 phases for sure. Every project will have 3 phases. One is initiation, one is intermediate, and one is final phase. And because we know that project is a one-time endeavor, it's like a life of a person. It has a start and it has an end. It ends after some time. A person is born and person is dead after some time. Like the way project is born and project is dead. So we call it as a life cycle of the project. Every project has a life cycle. And every project will have definitely 3 stages: initiation, intermediate, final. But it could have multiple stages too in between. Depends on the project. Like if I take the example of our construction project, it would have, let's say, designing, then it would have maybe government approval, or maybe government approval comes before, then after that designing, then laying the foundation, then constructing the building, then maybe painting the building and furnishing the building, and after that maybe recruiting the people. Maybe in our project, maybe the recruitment is also included. Like you have to recruit the people so that the project is functional. The 5-star hotel should be functional. The customer has told you that give me a 5-star hotel which I can start operating from day one. So you have to recruit the people. That is also included in your deliverables, let's say. So these will be the stages of a project. So depends on, as I said, depends on the project. If you're constructing the bridge, then there would be different stages. Now, if you are talking about an IT project, so IT project will have there we will follow agile approach. And as I told you, because most of you are joining a project management training for the first time, so I'll not start speaking about the agile right away. I will speak about the agile towards the last, let's say, 20 minutes of our session. So that means right now only half an hour has elapsed. So after 1 hour or so, 1 hour, 10 minutes, I will talk more about the agile. Till then, for the next 1 hour, I'll talk about some of the common concepts which are applicable to both predictive as well as agile. One of the common concepts are project stakeholders. Stakeholders means anyone who's positively or negatively impacted by the project, anyone who's positively or negatively impacted by the project. Uh, they could be the project manager, they could be the customer or the user. The customer or user could be different. In our case of hotel, let's say one billionaire. Let's imagine Elon Musk. He wants to start a 5-star hotel in Dubai. Right now, I'm staying in Dubai, but I keep changing my cities, by the way. So don't think I stay. I stay in Dubai as well as I stay in Bangalore, then Melbourne, then multiple places, right? So anyway. So let's imagine, because I'm in Dubai right now, let's imagine that we are constructing a 5-star hotel in Dubai, and here Elon Musk, who sits in, let's say, US, he wants to start a 5-star hotel in Dubai. So he is the customer, but the user may be some another hotel. He gives this hotel to, let's say, say Marriott group of hotels to manage, so that becomes the user. And also the people who will be using this hotel would be the users as well. So they are all stakeholders. Stakeholders means they have a stake they have an interest in the outcome of the project. See, it could be positive or negative. Sometimes it could be negative also. So anyone who's negatively impacted by the project also becomes a stakeholder. And then performing organization is the organization which is executing this project, which is, let's imagine all of us. There are quite a few of us. So all of us are project team members, and we are all project management team. Yeah. So, and we will have a group of, let's say, 300 construction workers who are also our project team members. And then we have got contractors, though they are suppliers, the people who are doing the painting job, people who are doing the other liaising with the government officials, etc. Some contractors, they are all our stakeholders. Yeah. Sponsor is the person who's giving us the money. So it could be an individual, it could be a group of individuals, it could be a company, it could be a bank also, because it may happen that your customer has taken a loan from the bank. So in that case, bank also becomes a sponsor. Influencers are the people who can influence the project. And PMO is a project management office. It exists. If it exists, it doesn't mean that it exists in every company, but those organizations who are involved in multiple projects day in and day out, lots and lots of projects they are executing, usually they will have a PMO, which is acting like a back office for the project managers. They will have all the templates. They would be having the historical records of the previously executed projects. They would be having the do's and don'ts to be followed during the project management, during the while you're managing the project. And they may also have the list of the people, the common pool of people who could go to different projects, who could be allocated to different projects. So this is also known as PMO, Project Management Office. Sometimes the CEO's office acts like a PMO if there is no formal PMO. And sometimes maybe an administration team of the organization can start acting like a PMO. Sometimes an IT team in the organization also can act like a PMO, because nowadays most of the projects organizations execute also fall under category of a IT project. So sometimes IT department also acts like a PMO. Now it depends. If you have a formal PMO, that also becomes a project stakeholder. Okay, so with this basic understanding, also want to, it's good idea to understand that influence of the project stakeholders is higher in the beginning, and it reduces. For example, I can, as all the stakeholders can make changes to the project, suggest changes to the project, or tell the demands about the deliverables in the beginning. The customer can tell you that what kind of paint it requires to be done on the 5-star hotel in the beginning. But as the project gets executed, once things are completed, their influence reduces. Yeah, especially in the influence of stakeholders to make changes here, mostly it's being referred to that. And the cost of changes also, actually will be increased. So if you have already laid the foundation of the building, and if you want to change the place, it's very difficult to do that changes, obviously. No. So we can say client or customer, it could be anything. They are one and the same thing. Process group interaction in a project. And there are different process groups, usually a construction projects, a predictive approach. And sometimes I'll talk about predictive approach, sometimes I'll start talking about agile approach at a little later stage. But a predictive approach will have initiation, then planning. There would be a detailed planning of a particular project, and then you will execute the plan. So first, I initiate the project, with a kickoff meeting, write a project charter, etc. After that, I will plan in detail for the 6, 7, 8 months. Maybe I'll just plan how I'm going to construct my hotel, and then I'll execute the plan in the next 1 year, 1 to 1.5 years, and then I monitor and control, the whole project, and then I close the project. Now, traditionally, we used to call them process groups, but these terms are no longer being used in the new version of PMI. But it's always good to connect with the phases, or typical phases, which will look like in any predictive approach. Now, project charter. This is a sample. So project title is Information Technology Upgrade Project, and project start date is March 4, 1999. Project finished. So you just see, I'm just giving you a brief idea about what a project charter looks like. What are the components of a project charter? It has a start date, it is a finish date. It has got a project manager's name. It has got the basic project objectives. What would be the end result? It will have a budget. It will have an approach. If some approach is suggested, then these things should be followed. It will have all of them. So typically a project charter will look something like this. And now when you come to my classroom, we actually do these exercises. Right now today, it's more like an introduction to project management. I'm not going to do any exercises. Maybe 1 or 2 exercises I will do. Maybe something related to schedule management and maybe cost management. Maybe I'll try to do some exercises, brief exercises today, just to have the glimpses of the exercises which are done in the classroom. But when you come to the classroom, we write a project charter together of any chosen projects. It could be constructing a refinery, or constructing a bridge, or constructing a hotel, just like this, which we are doing today, or also making a website for an organization, which of course follows the agile approach. So we do these exercises. Right now, I'm just showing you a typical project charter would look something like this. Then once we have written the project charter, and I can write it for a 5-star hotel also. And once I've written this, after that, I go and check. I look for the scope statement. Scope statement means what are the requirements? Say, for example, for a 5-star hotel, what would be the objectives? What are the detailed requirements? Detailed requirements means I have to now plan. I have to spend a lot of good time in planning what exactly would be there in the hotel. And what would be the acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria means once you show me the work completed, as a customer, I will accept that work is completed if you do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the constraints. What are the assumptions? Now, all these things in very, very detailed way. No, I'm not able to show all the detailed scope of the whole project. But what do you mean by scope? Scope means you are writing all the requirements of the project in very much in detail. So you'll collect the requirements. So in the beginning, you will write a project charter, which you have written. In the initiation and in the beginning, you will write a project charter. Once you have written the project charter, after that, the project charter will just give you the bigger picture, what is expected by the client, by the customer, or what exactly he wants from you. so it has a 200 rooms, a 5-star hotel in Dubai in this location with this color and these Italian marbles and whatever I told you in the beginning. But now it has to be very detailed plan, and for that you can use different techniques like Delphi technique. Delphi technique means you have people sitting in different locations of the world, experts sitting in various locations of the world. Like, you have got this is like I'm trying to build the United States of America and the American continent. You have got here European continent. Then here you have got African continent. Then you have got the Asian continent, and people sitting in various places, like say, sitting in various places, coming, Australia. Let's include Australia also here. Australia. So people, experts sitting in, let's say one expert is sitting in Melbourne, one expert is sitting in Dubai, one expert sitting in New York, one expert sitting in Japan. Maybe I'll not make Japan here. Japan, okay. Let us make it, no problems. So one person expert sitting in Japan, in Japan. Now, all of them, you write as a project manager, you write to them. So here, of course, you have got the other part. Just not making it. So here, these experts, you write to them. Okay. And one expert, let's put in London as well. Why to leave London? One, you made London as well. So, yeah. So you write. Now we are using Delphi technique. Now I'm just giving you an example of one technique. Delphi technique means you write to these experts sitting in these locations that, I am involved in construction of a hotel. Can you tell me what this 5-star hotel should have? So they will give you lots of requirements, so everything. They will give you a detailed requirement. You'll compile everything together, and then send them back to them saying that I'm using a Delphi technique, means I'm using seeking help of other experts too. And that's what others have said, and I've compiled everything. And now you give me your opinion. Now this compilation, which is more comprehensive, more elaborate, is studied by all these 4 experts sitting in different corners of the world. And then they will give their opinion. Okay, I disagree with this, but I agree with this. Oh, this I forgot, but I would like to add. That's what. So they keep on giving this to and fro. This to and fro information keeps happening. And 3-4 iterations, maybe you will get a very, very beautiful document, which contains the great, which is a great document to have when you're constructing a 5-star hotel. Means you will not miss out on anything. To the last detail, you will get almost everything. That is how you can develop your scope. That is how you can develop your scope. Now, this was just one way of developing a scope. Also, you can also look at other projects, lessons learned, previous projects. Go to a PMO, and PMO will tell you, well, similar 5-star hotel project was done in Qatar during the FIFA World Cup. You just copy that, learn from that. Lessons learned. We call it lessons learned. So previous projects, lessons learned repository, you can access, and also you can get some scope from there. Or there are many ways like experts, Delphi technique, brainstorming. You can use brainstorming also. Once you have defined, so collected the requirements, now you have defined the scope. Now, once you have defined the scope, you create a work breakdown structure. Not there's so much of work with me. Experts have told me that there are 1,000 things to be done while constructing a 5-star hotel project. So how will I manage them? So I will I'll do a work breakdown structure. So work breakdown structure looks something like this. Like this is an example of an IT project work breakdown structure, or maybe I'll show you one 5-star hotel as well. So yeah. Sorry, because I want to give you as many tools as possible in the 2-hour duration. That's why I'm a little fast, but I hope you are fine with my speed. Okay, so here total work required, I break it down into smaller parts, and further keep on breaking it down to smaller and smaller parts. For example, in hotel project. I'm just showing you one part of the work breakdown structure. It can't be so easy. That's just one part. If you notice, in both the cases, you have got 1.1, 1.1.1, 1.1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3. It could be 1.1.1.2, 1.1.3. These are all known as code of accounts. We call them as code of accounts. 1.1, 1.1.1, 1.1.1.2. Breaking down, I'm breaking down. We call it as a decomposition. Decomposing the whole work, bigger work, into smaller manageable chunks of work, packets of work, packet of work. So keep on doing it till the time you are able to define to the last, say, furniture design. Now I can easily assign some time, cost, and resources. So I have a defined scope, what needs to be done in furniture design, how much time it will take, and how much money it will incur, and how many resources it will have. So I'm able to accurately estimate all these things. This becomes a work package. So what is a work package? A deliverable at the lowest level of the WBS. Okay, deliverable at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure. I hope you are now getting used to these jargons: WBS, a Delphi technique, Delphi spelling. Let me write Delphi. After PMP, you will learn a lot of jargons. You can impress people. In management meetings, you can use these techniques. Use Pareto chart, Delphi technique, brainstorming, use stand-up meetings, all these things. Well, so work packages are deliverable at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure. Now, work package contains a lot of work that is described in the WBS dictionary. Means includes work package descriptions. What exactly needs to be done? Italian marble of what specification? What will be the dimensions of one tile? All these things, description of that, what is involved, what is packaged in the work, the description of the the work in that package is done in the WBS dictionary. I hope you are with me till now. You are understanding. I am trying to speak in simple English. I hope you are able to understand that vocabulary, and also the. I'm trying to speak in an accent which is understood by most of the people. And right now we have got people from India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Gulf regions, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, etc. So I'm trying to. If you want, I can even speak in European accent too. But I hope no one from Europe is there today. Anyone from Europe today? Now, for them, I have a different accent. If you need training for that, I come to my another training program. I conduct a little bit during the night time, during the US time, US hours. But anyway, a little bit of fun. Yeah. Now let us start planning for the timelines. Let us plan for the timelines. Now, you have got a lot of work. Now, let's imagine a work package. See, work package, typical work package, right? Typical work package will contain some work. It can be further broken down into activities, and activities needs to be planned for. We have to create a timeline for those activities. How to do that? How to do that? You can use network diagramming method, also known as precedence diagramming method, PDM, or create a network diagram. So some of the activities in the work package can be done in parallel, like say, for example, A and B, A and D, or F can be done in parallel. But some of the activities have to be done in series, like B cannot be completed unless A is completed, right? And C cannot be started unless B is completed. So we call them as dependence, start to finish dependence. And we have to construct a network diagram accordingly. And then after that, for each of the path, how many paths are there? Can you guess how many paths are there in this particular work package? There are 3 paths, right? Start, A, B, C, and finish. And we have got another path, start, D, E, and finish. What is the duration of all the paths? Start, F, and finish. What are the durations of the path? Or let me ask you, which is having the longest duration? So this is 5 plus 6, 11 plus 4, 15. This is 15 days, 15 weeks, sorry. Yeah. And this is how much? This is 12. Sorry, 8 plus 5 is 13, right? Okay. 11, 15. This 15, 13, and 12, right? 15, 13, and 12. I hope I'm right. Yeah. And so which is the longest duration? This is the longest duration. We call it as critical path. Why it is known as critical path? Because any work delayed on that path will delay the projects. So the total duration of the project is actually the critical path, that is 15 weeks. So this particular work package, if I'm referring to, see, network diagramming can be done for a whole project. It could be done for a work package. So here, this work package will take around 15 weeks to complete. And that is because the critical path is taking 15 weeks. The other paths will take 13 and 12, but they can be run in parallel. So there is a float there. Float means there's a buffer. The second path, there is a buffer. I can delay that path by 2 weeks, right? And similarly, there is a third path, the F activity, F I can delay by 3 weeks. We call it as float. We call this as float. Yeah. But let us solve a problem. Maybe after a while, I'll solve a problem to explain these concepts more. Then you can also create a milestone schedule. Milestone means by this time, I would have completed my foundation. By this time, I would have completed my, let's say, painting. By this time, I would have recruited all the people, staff, etc. These are the milestones. Milestones are not having any duration. They are like at a point of time. By this time, I should have done this. They are known as milestones. You can use milestone charts. You can use Gantt charts. You can use different softwares like project management softwares are there. You can use them, although they don't test you in any project management software. You're free to choose any project management software, but there are some popular ones, Microsoft Project, etc. You don't have to learn anything to become a PMP. You should be knowing about the concepts. What is a Gantt chart? Gantt chart has got a duration, right? Yeah. Gantt charts. Have you heard of Gantt charts? Anyone not heard of Gantt charts? Just let me know. I'll explain. There's a video explaining Gantt chart also. I keep making videos. I'm not showing you too many videos today because of time constraints, but we give all these videos to you. Yeah, when you are doing the. So this is about Gantt chart. Let me show you.
You'll be estimating the budget for implementation of your solution. So in other departments, an implementation down the A was first used was 24th and other resources.
Okay, I just wanted to difficult to find those at the right point. I just thought of you, just showing you this. So this was somewhere here, very somewhere here. Yeah, this is the one.
Shows a duration of main level time of the many times, which can be used as Gantt chart. It is a diagram that shows the timing, duration, and interrelationship of steps in a process. Many times it is used for senior management reporting because senior managers would definitely like to see the overall picture and not the details of the tasks and subtasks. So here you can use Gantt chart. Gantt chart features are on the left side, you have tasks, you list down all the tasks. Tasks listed down left side are usually numbered. Levels of detail varies as needed. Then we have got time scale across top. Then we have names showing the responsibilities, who's responsible for what task. And then a black bar which shows the duration of main level tasks, and the length of bar in each of the tasks illustrates the duration of the task. Start and end points relative to other bars shows sequence and timing. So it will help me to understand which activity needs to be done first and which activity has to be done after completion of any particular activity. Some activities can be done in parallel and some activities need to be completed before you start that particular activity. So Gantt chart will give you an overall picture of even the interrelationship of the activities. So
that was about Gantt chart, and there are many more tools. So which of course we learn during our training, and I would like to invite you to my 40 hours of training. If you want to become a PMP, please do join, and I'll give you all the details towards the end of this program. And you are most welcome to join. But today also you will get a certificate. If you want, you can get a certificate as well. And those who are already PMP, they can also get a PDU certificate. You will be earning 2 PDUs from this training in case you are interested. Now let us solve Ratish saying, good to see you. Oh, Ratish, thank you. So let us solve a problem. So let's talk about the activity A. So A can start immediately. B can start after activity A. And C can start after A is completed. Okay. And D can start after B is completed. And E can start after C is completed and after D is completed. So looking at all the different possibilities, let us look at, let's try to construct a network diagram. I don't know if you are interested in solving the problems, then I can solve a problem. I can show you how easy it is to solve a problem, how to calculate the Gantt chart, etc. Up to you. Are you interested? Are you interested in solving a problem? Yes, Gauri is telling yes. So let us hear what Gauri says. Let us follow. Okay, so whenever you are making a see in the exam, you don't have to make any network diagram, but in order to understand this, and you should be able to answer the questions easily, your fundamentals should be strong. And to make your fundamentals strong, sometimes we solve the problem in the class. So we have a start. Generally, you'll write a start and an end or finish here, and then try to write your activities in the form of the boxes. So you have activity A. Now, activity A is taking 3 weeks or 3 months. Okay, so 3 months. And B can start after A is completed. And C can also start after A. So both B and C can start after A. That means be a little careful. Both B and C can start after A. That means they can be done in parallel. Yeah. B and C both can be started after A. That means they can be done in parallel. And we can also put the duration. So 3, 3, and 6. So 3, 3, and 6. It could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever it is. I'm just putting the duration. Then we have D, which can start after B. Yeah. D can start after B. It's completed. It's taking 8 months. And then E can start after C and D. Both are completed. Yeah. So C and D both should be completed. C and D both should be completed. Then only I can start E. It looks something like this, isn't it? Okay. And then I can just put those numbers. I forgot what was the number. So 8 and duration was 8 and 4. Okay. 8 and 4. 8 and 4. Okay. Now, for each activity, what I will do for each activity, I will put in 4 corners, early start and early finish. Late start and late finish. Now, what do you mean by that? Earliest I can start this activity by when? And latest I can start that activity by when? And earliest I can finish that activity by when? And latest I can finish this activity by when? I have to write that. So here if I see this, I can start on say 0th day. And this will earliest I can finish by 3 in 3 months, right? Similarly, here also, I can start earliest I can start in 3, and I can start, and this will end by 6, right? 3 plus 3 is 6. Earliest I can start this by 6, and earliest I can finish it by how much? Let me know how much it would be. So it will be 8 plus 6, 14. Yes. And then after that, what about the C? Let's look at the C. Because at E, I can't go at E because to E, there are 2 arrows coming. So I have to be careful. So unless I complete this path, I can't proceed with A. So C, earliest start could be what? Of course, 3. And this will be 9. Now, what about E? Earliest start of E could be how much? How much it is? Early start of E would be 14 because, yeah, Gauri is right. You already know. Yeah, you already know. Yeah, so 14 and then early finish would be 18. I hope everyone is getting. So when I'm filling this, I say forward pass means, I will move from left to right and complete early start and early finish. To complete the late start and late finish, I move backward. Yeah. So I start with 18. 18 minus 4 is 14. Yeah. 18 minus 4 is 14. I'm just writing 14, right? Now tell me latest finish of D and latest finish of C. What will be the latest finish of D? Obviously 14. And what will be the latest finish of C? I can finish till 14 because I can delay it, right? And latest start, if I can delay till 14, I can even start it by 8. Yeah, 14 minus 6 is 8. 14 minus 6 is 8, right? And this one, if I go to D, 14 minus 8 is 6. And 6, this becomes 6 here. And this becomes 6. And our latest start of is 3. Now coming to this A, whenever there are 2 arrows coming, in or coming towards a box, you should be careful. So what will be the latest finish of A? Now B has to start latest by 3 and C also has to start latest by 8. So latest A can be delayed up to 3 only. It can't delay beyond that because B has to start, right? So this is how I will get my early start, early finish, late start, and late finish dates for all activities. Here, if you look at the total duration, this appears to be the, I think, critical path. The duration of the critical path. This is the critical path, right? The duration of the critical path is how much? 18 months, right? A plus B plus D plus E, right? So 80 months. And the other path is, I think it is how much? 13 months, right? Which is A plus C plus E. Okay. And typically, all the activities on the critical path, both of early finish and late finish, early start and late start, they'll be same. There's no buffer, there's no float there. But here, activities which are not on the critical path, they will have a buffer. So how much will be the buffer means how much time I can delay activity C. It will be here, it will be 14 minus 9, which is 5 months. So there is a float of 5 months here. I can delay activity C by 5 months and I'll still not delay the project. So, these information are useful for us to plan. Let's say I want to speed up the project. So I'll put resources which are involved in these activities. I can, I can reinforce, I can speed up the whole thing by supporting with the resources of C. If resources are useful, of course, not every skills can be transferred, but if I can use this and because activity C can be delayed by 5 months, so I can use less resources there and reduce the speed of C. And I put these resources in A, B, D, E activities so that I can speed up the process. Or if there is a delay in the project due to certain constraints, then I can reduce that delay using this approach. I just wanted to tell you one example. There are many ways of speeding up the projects which we learn in project management sessions. Any questions? Up to here, any questions? Okay. By the way, how many of you have attended our black belt or green belt sessions? Okay. So just write yes if you have attended and write no if you have not attended. Okay, a lot of you have not attended. Okay. Please attend my yellow belt training. That's also free for everyone. It's a 2.5 hour training. And I do conduct this training program almost every 2 to 3 weeks. And the next program, I'm not sure when it is happening, but I'll give you the dates. Yeah. So my team member will show these dates after a while. So you do attend it. And those who are not in, those who are in a hurry, they can even watch the video recording. I strongly recommend after this training, spend another 2.5 hours. I know you have got a lot of time. So if you can, spend another 2.5 hours, you'll learn lots of tools and techniques of quality. Maybe some of them I will maybe show you today. They are also used in project management. Yeah, some of them I will show today. So though this was about schedule management. Let me solve a problem related to, and let's see how much time is remaining. I also want to cover the agile. Okay, no problems. I will. Let me solve one more problem related to cost management. So we use a concept called earned value analysis. When we are reporting about our schedules, when we are reporting about our costs in projects, usually we report in terms of value. Value means in terms of dollars, money, whatever, Saudi riyal, rupees, dirhams, or euros, Australian dollars. Think of reporting the status of your project in terms of schedule as well as cost. How are you performing? Are you on schedule? Are you under budget, over budget? Are you spending more money than required? Or are you saving the money of the company? All these things can be reported in terms of earned value analysis. So let me take an example. Let's say you are a project manager, and let's take simple examples. In our five-star hotel, you are constructing a boundary wall. Yeah, and typically boundary wall is generally it has four sides. Yeah, so let's imagine it has four sides. Oh, just wanted to make it a little bit better. Still, it is not so better. Okay. Now, let's imagine the budgeted time and cost for each side is 1 day and $1,000. So this is the budget. It is a planned one. This is how we planned. 1 day and $1,000. 1 day and $1,000. And 1 day and $1,000. And 1 day and $1,000. Right? Now, let's imagine this is the third day. End of the third day, you go to the site, or anyone who is involved in this project goes to the site, and he sees that the first wall is completed. Yeah. Second wall is also completed. The third wall is half completed. And additionally, one more thing is told to you, that the first wall is completed and you spent $1,000. Second wall is also completed, but while you executed the project, you spent $1,200. It happens, isn't it? We are sometimes not able to follow our budget. There are cost overruns. So here you spent, or the person who are working there, the project team spent $1,200. And this third day, third wall, how much they should have spent, by the way? How much they should have spent? If you have constructed half of the wall, how much they should have spent? They should have spent $500. $500, isn't it? Because $1,000 is the budgeted and half wall has been constructed. So they should have spent $500, but actually you see that they have spent $600. Yeah. Now, let us understand what was the planned value at the end of the third day. What is the planned value at the end of the third day? Planned value was 1,000 plus $1,000, and I was planning to have $3,000, right? So I have planned to spend $3,000 in the 3 days. But how much I earned means how much I was able to work, how much I'll get the money, how much I'll be. So I'll be getting 1,000 plus 1,000, and I have earned worth half. That is 500, right? Because I have actually I've just done half. So I have earned half only. So that is 2,500. And what about actual costs? Actual cost I've spent is 1,000 plus 1,200 plus 600, which comes to 2,800. I hope you are with me. Yeah. So first wall fully completed, second wall fully completed, and third wall is just half completed. Yeah. And I should have spent $500, but actually I spent $600. Right. Now, any questions up to here? So Ajay, I hope you understood, right? Now, let us look at the schedule variance. So first of all, am I behind schedule or ahead of schedule? Schedule variances, earned value, how much you have earned minus the planned value means I have earned. See, instead of formulae, sometimes understand the logic. Then formulae comes later on, right? So I have earned 2,500, but I should have earned 3,000. So I am behind schedule by work worth $500, which is half the wall. I'm behind schedule by half the wall, which is $500. I'm expressing this in money, nothing else, right? So that's why. Now, what is the schedule performance index? How am I performing in terms of? I should have actually, I had planned for 3,000. I should have spent 3,000, isn't it? I should have earned 3,000. That would have been one. One means 100%. One means ideal value. Whatever you have planned and you have earned, it could be more also. Sometimes you planned for 3,000, you have completed work worth 3,200. That would have been more than 100%, right? But right now, unfortunately, you are here. Is again EV divided by PV. And here you are at, I'm not able to, if someone can do the calculations, it will be around 1.83 approximately. So 83%, yeah. Thank you. Some of you are actually sending me the numbers. So thanks for that. And I'll go with you, whatever you are saying. I'm assuming you are calculating. Yeah. So I am behind schedule, right? Now, similarly, I can also do these calculations for costs. So cost variances, earned value minus actual costs, means how much I have earned, 2,500, and how much I've actually spent, 2,800. Oh, I'm behind budget, means I am overspending by $300. $200 on the second wall, I have overspent, and $100 I have overspent on the third wall. I hope you got it. I overspent $100, right? So total $300. And what is the cost performance index? Cost performance index is CPI, which is EV divided by AC, means I should have spent 2,500, but actually I ended up spending 2,800, which comes to around 0.89, I think. So it is 89%. So my performance in terms of the cost is just 89%. Yeah. So I will not be, I'm estimating budgeted completion, BAC, budgeted completion is how much? 1,000, 4,000. But I don't think I'll be able to complete in $4,000 because my cost, the way I'm working, my team is working today is at 89% in terms of the cost. So I will end up spending how much? Divided by 0.89. I will end up spending 4,000 something, 4,400 something. Yeah. So I'll be, I'll need more money because of our inefficiencies or something, whatever. So this is how we actually perform the EVA, earned value analysis. And these two are considered as tough topics, toughest topics in the project management. The remaining topics are very easy, by the way. Yeah. And everything is easy. Come to our sessions, everything is easy. And I'd like to invite you to my sessions. You learn a lot. Even if you don't want to become a PMP, you will learn a lot of tools, a lot of techniques used in management, which will help you to become a better manager. And I'm sure all of you are going to become great managers in the future. The next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, the world is going to transform. Lots and lots of projects are going to be executed. Even though you are not a formal project manager, still you will be involved in project and you can do a better job of managing if you know the tools and techniques of project management. Still, I think we have some time. So before I go to the agile, maybe I will talk about some of the tools and techniques very briefly. And I'll not be able to go into the details of each and every tool. See, to maintain the quality of the project, you can use cause and effect diagram, flow charts, histograms, Pareto charts, run charts, scatter diagram, control charts. Now, I can't explain the details of control chart in such a short time. For that, you have to watch my yellow belt session. So I will give you a link here. It's a recorded link of my yellow belt training. I've contacted many of them, maybe more than 30, 40 of them in the last 2 to 3 years. And you can join, you can see anyone in every session. I have definitely talked about the control charts. So please watch that control chart and you will get a lot of information. Apart from that, let me talk a little bit about cause and effect diagram. See, whenever as a project manager, you are facing difficulties, there would be a lot of problems. You would like to improve the quality. You'll face a lot of difficulties. Errors are being committed. People are not understanding whatever is being said, or you are delivering something else than what was required or stated by the customer. Then you can solve these problems using these techniques. Let me show you one. Let's imagine that you are facing, as a project manager, you're facing some problems in procurement related delays. Procurement means, you're procuring cement, you're procuring, say, gravel, or you must be procuring paints or some equipment. If you're a refinery, petrochemical refinery, you are erecting the reactors and distillation columns. So in that case, you're procuring. And if you're an IT company, you will be procuring softwares. So procurement is being delayed, let's say. And as a project manager, you are facing these difficulties. You can solve these issues by using some quality tools. So first is, you can't improve if you cannot measure. You have to remember that. So first is, you have to put a measure. So let's say today procurement baseline is around, these are the days, let us say, number of days. You collect some data, and whenever you collect any data, you will always find that every repetitive process, anything, which is an activity is being repeated again and again, the duration of that, cost of it, or any measure of it will follow a normal distribution. I'll explain what is normal distribution. But if you draw a histogram, on that, it will look something like this. Most of the time, most of the procurements are happening in our company in 124 days. Sometimes it is going up to 126 days. Sometimes it's going up to 140, but very few times it's even going beyond 130 days. But after 130, almost not going. Similarly, 122 days. So the histogram actually shows the performance of whatever you are doing. Time taken, so per square feet, per square meter of wall construction, time taken to construct per square meter of wall, or tiling jobs. So a repetitive job, right? So you can start measuring, and you would like to increase this. Today I'm taking 124 plus minus, let's say, 10 days for procurement. I would like to improve it, isn't it? So in this case, I can do improvement projects. So you can use quality tools and techniques to improve anything in your project. So I'm taking an example of procurement time, and you would like to improve it. Typically, Mr. As I told you that all the processes, they will follow this distribution. We call it as normal distribution. It looks like a bell-shaped curve, and it's known as normal distribution because it's normal to obtain a normal distribution. Yeah, it is normal to obtain a normal distribution. So here, Mr. Gauss, Carl Friedrich Gauss, an mathematician, European mathematician, he spent around whole of his lifetime studying these probability distribution curves, and he found that most of the repetitive activities in the world, they follow this normal distribution. Means you will have an average here, denoted by x bar, and you'll also have, so average is there, x bar, and you'll also have a standard deviation. So I'm not going to talk too much about standard deviation here in this session, obviously, but it will have, it's very easy to calculate standard deviation using any software, any Excel sheet. Excel sheet can also calculate standard deviation for you. So here, let's say you are taking 124 days to procure, and your standard deviation is, let's say, 3 or maybe 5. It could be anything. Let's put 5 here. Yeah. So if your standard deviation is 5, using Gaussian theorem, which says that all the activities for which you have taken the sample, okay, all the activities for which you have taken the sample, they follow this normal distribution, and they will be lying within plus minus 3 times the standard deviation. 99% of those activities will be following within plus minus 3 times the standard deviation. Means all the procurements done in my project organization will follow how much they will be. So most of them will be happening in 124 days. 1 time standard deviation. So what is this? 5 is 1 standard deviation, right? So 125 plus 5 is 129. 2 times standard deviation is 5 and 5, 10. So this becomes 134. So 124 plus 5 is 129. I'm just adding 5, right? And 5. The third one is 138. I'm again adding 5. Similarly, if I go on the left side, it becomes 119. 114, and how much it would be? 100 and oh, Milan is here. Okay, welcome, Milan Stankovic. Welcome. Have you attended right from the beginning? Right from the beginning, have you attended? I hope so. You have attended my previous programs also? Yeah. So let us continue. Tell me how much will be these values? 114 minus 5 will be 109. I hope I'm right. Please let me know if something needs to be. Oh, this will be 9, right? 139. Yeah, I miscalculated. So this, anyway, by the way, you don't have to calculate those things in PMP, project management. I'm just giving you some additional information. Just I'm trying to teach you, although I tell you control chart is more time it will take, but I'm trying to teach you control charts. So plus and minus 3 is known as lower control limit and upper control limit of any activity. Okay. So you can monitor your process that usually my procurements will take between 109 to 139 days. So if they are within this, I'll say process is under control. And if they are not within this, I'll say process is out of control. And I'd like to maintain it. Not only maintain it, I would like to improve it. I would like to change the control limits. I would like to make it happen faster. So how to make it happen faster? I want to change the average procurement time. I want to shift the process mean. I would like to reduce the procurement time. So how to do that? So you can use a cause and effect diagram. You brainstorm on causes. So you do brainstorming on the possible causes. See, brainstorming can be done for multiple things. Brainstorming can be done on generating ideas. Brainstorming can be done on generating the possible causes of your issues or problems. So let me play a video of brainstorming, how to do some of the basic rules. As a project manager, you are also a facilitator. So what are the basic rules of a brainstorming? You should always follow these as a project manager.
Ideas. Leave your designation and ego. Participants are given and you followed. And as I told you that brainstorming is used for either generating the possible root causes or getting the ideas to solve problems. There are certain rules which need to be followed in brainstorming. The rules of brainstorming are: give equal opportunity to everyone who is participating. So tell them to participate, and you can use different techniques. As I told you, we will be learning in the improve phase. Capture all the ideas, so document all the ideas. Whatever is being discussed, whatever ideas the participants are given, someone should be there to document, or a scribe you can appoint to document all the ideas. Leave your designation and ego along with your shoes outside the meeting room. That means don't think that if you are senior, your idea carries more weightage. So obviously this ground rule should be very clear to everyone, and everyone should be encouraged to give an idea, and everyone's idea should carry equal weightage. There should be a non-threatening environment. When people are giving ideas, they should not be afraid of giving ideas. So you should create an environment where people should be encouraged to give the ideas. Also, we should ensure that wherever the brainstorming is taking place, there should not be any disturbance, so people are focused on brainstorming. Sometimes people might deviate from the topics. There is a tendency that some important issue crops up during the discussion. So at that time, you can always create a parking lot saying that, well, this idea or this issue is very, very important, and we can park it to be discussed after a while once we complete the brainstorming on this particular topic. We should encourage people to fantasize freely. We should not put brakes on our thoughts. So you can give some out-of-the-box ideas, you can give some wild ideas, and if people are giving you wild ideas, they should be encouraged. If you give a specific duration of brainstorming, we should try to complete the brainstorming within the time duration, and defer evaluation. Now this is one of the rules which is often violated. People start discussing the ideas. Someone gives an idea and someone else says, well, it will not work in an organization. Or some other person gives an idea and someone else comments that, wow, it's a great idea. So don't evaluate. Reserve your comments for evaluation at a later stage. When you are generating the idea, when you are generating the root causes, they are not to be evaluated. You cannot say that it is a good idea or this is a very good root cause which you have thought of. No evaluation, just write down whatever is being suggested. Generate quantity, do not worry about the quality at the initial stages. So you have to generate lots of root causes, lots of solutions, more the better. A pearl diver, he dives into the sea to find the pearls. If he just collects 10 oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very low. But if he collects thousands of oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very high. So similarly, if you want to collect great ideas, some of the out-of-the-box ideas, some creative ideas, then definitely you should create more and more ideas. So how to generate those ideas? There are different techniques. Some of these techniques will cause and effect diagram or tree diagram. First, the cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagrams graphically display potential causes of a problem. The layout shows cause and effect relationships between the potential causes. In order to generate the potential causes, you can use different techniques. One of the techniques is 6M technique, where you can brainstorm on causes related to man, machine, material, methods, measurement, and environment, which we can also brand it as Mother Nature, just to make it M. So you can use this 6M's technique to identify all the potential causes. You can also have your own groupings. You can use affinity technique. You can invite people to generate as many causes as possible, brainstorm on the possible causes, and once they give you the causes, then you can assimilate the similar causes together using affinity diagram and make your own branches. It is not necessary that you have to have always 6 M's as the branches. You can have your own branches too.
So let me show you, maybe because of just to show you, how actually things are done. But you don't have to really master those softwares which I'm using right now. Although if you are interested, I'm happy to give you all these softwares if you join our sessions. But yeah, from PMP perspective, you really don't have to master. But I'm just showing you to make your, the speed up our learning process. You can brainstorm on like why these procurement times are higher, man, machine, material, method, and you can quickly make a cause and effect diagram. Once I've got a cause and effect diagram of what are the possible causes of my delayed procurements, then I can brainstorm. I can use a Pareto. Wilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the money in Italy is with 20% of the people. So he called this as 80-20 rule. And he found that this 80-20 rule is applicable almost everywhere. So Joseph Juran, he said that, whatever problems you're solving in quality, any quality related issue you're solving, 80% of your problems are due to the 20% of the causes. So list down all the causes. Basically, so whatever problems you face in your project, you list down the causes or even the categories, and you'll find that some of the causes are appearing many times, most of the time. So you can do a Pareto analysis. Pareto analysis will look something like this. If you want to learn how to make Pareto in detail and manually, I have done these sessions again separately. I've also explained the Pareto chart in very much in detail. So cause and effect diagram very much in detail. There's a video. Please, my team will put cause and effect diagram video. Then our second part is the other part, which is the Pareto. So if you can put Pareto, also Pareto chart, my team will put Pareto chart also, that video. And so, like you can even do a Pareto chart in Excel sheet as well. I have shown in the video I've shown you how to make it Pareto chart manually, and then the video I've shown you how to do it in Excel sheet also. So you can watch that video. You'll be sent those video links, and also you can also subscribe to our channel, Anexas channel. So our team today, I think I don't see many links being sent, but if you get team, can you please send the link of Anexas channel so people can watch those videos? And you also if you can subscribe to those this channel, you will get access to many quality tools and techniques, many project related methodologies, tools and techniques, totally free of cost. So please subscribe. You just have to click subscribe button, and all the videos, explanations of everything is yours. So so here look at this diagram for the time being. Let us say delivery delay is causing most of the issues in my projects. Then vendor selection delay is causing most of the procurement delay. The lack of clarity comes next. So we have organized those causes which are occurring in a decreasing frequency, highest on the left, and then count on, and also contribution, like 27% is contributed by this, then 22% is contributed by vendor selection delay, the lack of clarity of requirements of what you actually want to buy is contributing 18%. And total first four, if you see, this is the cumulative. This plus this is this. The first three are coming to this, and first four are coming to here. So if you see, it's almost 80%, right? So these first four, we'll call it as root causes. So I'll attack those root causes and I'll work on them. So these are some of the tools I just wanted to show you. Histogram, we learned. The control chart, I very briefly mentioned. I briefly mentioned cause and effect diagram. I briefly talked about the Pareto chart. These are some quality tools and techniques which you can use. So some people are asking, okay, so I'll now, as I told you, the last for 20 minutes, I'll be devoting to Agile. So what is Agile? And what do we mean by Agile? Because the IT projects, I can't use the same, all the methodologies. Of course, these tools which I just showed you, they are applicable everywhere. Pareto chart, histogram, applicable everywhere, either it's Agile or predictive. Some of the tools are very common. They are common to both, but some of the tools are very specific to Agile. So let me describe that. Before that, some people are asking about the training dates. So if my team can put the training dates, but till the time I open the Agile part, I'll introduce you to the Agile as well. Or would you like me to complete some of the predictive tools only? Up to you. Or you want Agile? Your choice. There are some interesting predictive tools, more interesting predictive tools, team formation, 5 stages of team. You want that or you want Agile? Just let me know. I can cover any one because now 20 minutes is left. So I'll briefly explain. Okay, Ajay is telling briefly explain about Agile. Okay, let me talk about it. If you are willing to spend a little bit more time, okay. So some people are asking about the dates. Can my team, if you can please put the dates, and also. So these are the dates we can join our trainings. Okay. And apart from that, yeah, so, okay. So my team, if you are ready, can you please post the dates? Yeah. So these dates, which my team is going to post, you can always, join. And here, if you are, they're the same dates which were there earlier. Yeah. So timing, I can tell you, I can talk about the timings. And also I can talk about the money. Yeah. Some people are asking money. Yeah. So let me. So what date it is starting on Saturdays? If you can just tell me. If my team can tell me which date is starting, so I can just put that date here. So the Saturday's trainings are, the date, if my team can tell me the dates, that will be great because some people are asking. Starting on 30th March. Yeah, so starting on 30th March. Okay, March 30th, okay. Yeah, so here it is. And it's starting from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. India time, 8 to, and it is actually every day 1 hour. Okay, it is every day 1 hour, and it will continue for 7 p.m. and Europe time it will be 5 p.m. too. So if you are interested, just let us know. Starts on March 30th, 1 hour each. Yeah, 1 hour we'll explain some concepts the way we did in 2 hours. We'll explain in 1 hour, and it costs 500 dirhams, or some money. Yes, so actually, total cost is 500 dirhams of dollars plus $39 plus $100 plus PDO certificate, templates, etc. Everything costs $1,000. But as a special offer, as the year-end financial year-end offer, we are just giving it as $250. Everything, just $250, or Saudi Riyal 525, or AED 525, or Indian rupees 10,000 plus taxes. That's it. One of the lowest with the PMI approved training company. So we are a PMI approved authorized training organization, and we are authorized to conduct this training. And this is one thing which differentiates us. Some trainings, training institutes, they claim they're authorized, but you should ask for their. You should go to PMI website and ask for the look at their authorization. They are not. So we are PMI approved, accredited training organization, and this is the lowest fee offered by ATO, approved training organization. So whatever we are going to train, it will be coming from PMI. The training material is used, which we use, is coming from PMI. We also give you access to the PMI portal, and you will get all the information, all the material, all the videos. Videos are coming from PMI as well as coming from us. Some further explanation, like the way I showed you some explanation. This all videos are yours. You can use them, and you can appear for the exam with confidence. So on that note, I will just, but this offer is not valid forever. This is only valid for this batch starting 30th March. After that is going to increase. And this offer is valid if you register by tomorrow. Yeah, so by tomorrow, you have to hurry up. As if the seats fill in, then you'll have to go to the next batch, and next batch, the price would be different. Now, 3 tips I would like to give you when you are preparing for the exam, before I tell you about the Agile in brief. Study for the PMI developed and approved content, which we give you around 600 PowerPoint slides. That's it. You don't have to study any other book. Don't try to study too many things. Don't confuse yourself. Attend our sessions and just study. That's it. Solve the cloned questions of PMI, which we'll be giving it to you. And write our 2 mock exams. In fact, we'll be giving you 8 mock exams, but if you want, you can appear for all 8 or just write 2. That's enough. That means you are well prepared for the PMP training and PMP exam, and just appear. And if you don't want to appear for PMP exam, of course, so not everyone is interested in that. Just getting the PDU certificate by attending a session, you are getting a certificate from PMI. That also is very, very beneficial for you. So I hope that answers a lot of your questions. Many people were asking about the timing and the date. Actually, my team member was supposed to, but he was supposed to come towards the end, but you started asking questions in the beginning, and so somewhere in the middle. So I had to, sorry for that. In fact, I had to just, update my slides. Okay. Now let us go back to the see, the relay race. See, in a typical predictive approach, you are doing a relay race approach. Means I complete one activity, then after that, the next activity will start. Then the third activity. It's like a relay race. I hand over the baton to the next person. This is how the work progresses. But in Agile, this is not the situation. So what happens here? a team, which we call it a scrum. They work together. They form. Scrum is like coming from the rugby team. Rugby, they keep passing on the ball to each other, and in the group they move forward, and then they score a goal. So similarly, a team here, in order to take care of the changing requirements of the customer. First of all, the requirements are not clear. So they work in time boxes. Time boxes means like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So we call it as a sprint. Okay. So in 2 weeks, we'll complete some work. Then in the next 2 weeks, so we'll plan only for 2 weeks. Whatever work is there in front of us, we'll pull out some work which can be done in 2 weeks, and not necessarily always 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks also. The sprint duration can vary. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks, it could be 1 week also. But the most popular time duration of a sprint is 2 weeks. So whatever total work is there given by the customer, let's say constructing a website. If I go with the example of constructing a website, whatever work is there, the customer's work is listed down as a stories. We call them as stories. So let me show you a diagram. Yeah, it will help you to understand. So whatever the requirements of the customers, they are captured in the form of stories. Now, stories are not like typical stories, which we are habitual of hearing. Story is generally like, one sentence, simple sentence in a particular format. Like, as a user, I want this value. Like, I want to do something. I want to be executed. I want you to execute this work. I want you to deliver something so that I can derive some value out of it. This is a typical format of a story. I'll give an example in a short while. Let me give an example now itself. As a person interested in the hotel, I would like to make a payment so that I can book a hotel. And this becomes one story. Similarly, you'll have multiple stories. So requirements are captured in the form of stories. There could be 1, 2, 3, maybe 20, 30, 40 stories. The group of these stories, we can club together. We say this is known as product backlog. Backlog means whatever the work is remaining, which we need to complete. Now, for 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks is our sprint duration. So for these 2 weeks, we'll pull out some of the work from here, some stories which I can complete in 2 weeks, which are more important, right? Which are more important from the customer's perspective, which are more valuable for the customer. I'll pull. And then I will, let's say, design, then I will code, then I'll test, and then I'll deploy that particular code, so that I am able to, let's say this week, I want to be able to complete login ID and password. And also I want to complete the payment gateway so that people can book the hotel. In this case, my sprint backlog consists of these 3-4 stories, which are related to these requirements. I'll design, I'll code, I'll do the testing, and I'll deploy these particular codes so that my website, these features are now functioning. So these features which are now functioning, I will hand it over to the customer. The customer here is interacting on a regular basis. Now, he will not himself interact. He will put a one person. We call him product owner. So he represents the customer. The product owner is the person who actually acts on behalf of the customer. He's sitting with the team sometimes, or he's interacting with the team on a regular basis. Okay. So the product owner will do a sprint review. He will review, like in the sprint review, he will see whether you have completed the job which you had planned for the sprint. And if you have done, good. And then next sprint, again, next 2 weeks, again you do the same thing. So in a way, what will happen? This whole thing will look something like this. You completed one sprint, the next sprint, then another sprint, then another sprint, and another sprint, and this iterations, repeating again and again, same thing. Design, coding, testing, deployment, design, coding, testing, deployment, design, coding, testing, deployment, design, coding, testing, deployment. And every time you are getting out something. Yeah. So this is agile approach. This is agile approach. You're pulling out the work from the product backlog. Yeah. You're pulling out the product from the product backlog, and you will keep on completing the projects, in a way you can say bits and pieces. But every time the customer is getting something of value at the end of each sprint. So I hope you understood what is a sprint. This is a sprint. There are how many sprints mentioned here? 3, 4, 5, 6 sprints, right, of 2 weeks each. And every sprint we are completing some jobs. Now, typically, when you are executing your work in Agile, so I just explained to you what is sprint, the details, typically 2 to 4 weeks. And there are some ceremonies which we follow. So I told you who is a product owner, Scrum Master. Scrum Master is actually the person who's facilitating the whole thing. He's not like a person who's directing the team, because the team members in IT or in any agile team, they're highly knowledgeable, they are experts. They don't need directions. They know their job very well. So you can't tell them, Mr. A, you do this, Mr. B, you do. They themselves will decide what work needs to be done. So typically agile teams are self-managed. So the Scrum Master's role is more like a servant leader. Yeah. So let us see some of the things here. So product owner, I already told you, is the person who is actually acting on behalf of the customer. And the Scrum Master is the equivalent of a project manager, but not exactly project manager. He's more like a servant leader. He removes the roadblocks, impediments which the team might face, and facilitates the productivity of the team so that team is able to focus on the work and they are not distracted by some issues. The team is typically of 5 to 9 people. A particular team consists of 5 to 9 people. There can be multiple scrum of scrums also. So it's not that any IT team will be always 9 people. You can have multiple scrums, right? So I'm talking about one scrum. So this team of some 5 to 9 people is working together in sprints and completing the jobs. So what they're following some ceremonies, like in sprint planning, just before starting the sprint, they will plan what activities need to be done. This is a typical story I was telling you as a vacation planner. As a user here, as a user, I want to see photos of the hotels so that I can choose my hotel. So this is one story. This is an example of one story. Okay. So daily scrum, this is daily stand-up meeting, which happens every day for 15 minutes. Okay. And only 3 things are, everyone has to tell about 3 things. What are the 3 things? What did I do yesterday? What I will do today? And is there anything in my way? Means something is preventing me. What are the issues? What are the impediments? Some issues needs to be sorted out. That's it. And Scrum Master will try to remove these impediments. And this 15-minute meeting is known as stand-up meeting, usually done while standing. Yeah. The sprint review, as I told you, sprint review is done towards the end of the this thing, towards the end of the sprint, right? And generally done 2 hour, 2 hours. There's no slides. You just tell what exactly has been done, and they review it, whether it is done as per the requirements or not. Then you have got retrospective. So once the sprint is completed and the deliverables are handed over to the product owner means the customer's person, he is happy. Then you look at retrospectively means, postmortem, like what went well, what we could have done better as a learning. So we do a sprint retrospective. So what we should start doing, what we should stop doing, what we are not doing really well, what we should continue doing. This is known as a sprint retrospective. So I'm just telling you about some of the ceremonies which are followed in sprint. Yeah. So the schedule of our training is March 30th, April 3, 4, 5, 6. Some people are asking. So yeah, so we have listed down here in the chat box. Yeah. So yeah, so these are the sprint ceremonies. And some of the artifacts like product backlog. I told you what is the product backlog. All the work which needs to be completed, which is remaining to be completed. That is product backlog. Sprint goal is like the goal of that particular sprint. And then sprint backlog means during the sprint, whatever work I have pulled on from the product backlog to be completed during these 2 weeks. So this was brief overview of your sprint, how or agile works. Most of the tools, techniques are applicable to both predictive and agile, which we learned. And some of them are only applicable to agile. Some of them are only applicable to predictive approach. So here it's a sprint burnout chart is the total work remaining which needs to be completed. So in the initial stages, there would be some work would be done in the next sprint. As we proceed, work will be completed, but one more work will be added, isn't it? Like this is the work. So some more work will be added, then some more work will be completed. So you are completing as well as adding. So this will keep happening. So for some time, the backlog will be almost steady. Sometimes it may even increase. But as the time progresses, then it will start burning down. Remaining work will be reducing, and one time will come when there won't be any work remaining, or that means their project will be completed. So that's how a typical agile project is done. You can also scale, as I said, it's not like one sprint of one scrum of say 7 to 8 people is there. You can also work in scrum of scrums. You can scale to scrum of scrums and scale of sum of scrums. You can scale as much as you want. So that was very brief, overview of agile. Of course, in the classroom, I'll be able to tell you in detail. So I would like to invite you to my course, and if you can just please let me know about this. Just answer this question. If you can answer this question, that will give me some information, or I'll be happy to contact you in case you are interested. I'll be happy to contact you, and I'll give you all the information how to get enrollment. Although my team has already given the enrollment, they have told you what exactly needs to be done. Just very, very minimal. I can tell you this is the minimum fees from an authorized training organization. I'm again repeating, authorized training organization. Not there are some trainers, they claim that they are authorized, but they are not. So you have to ask for that badge from. You can ask them. They will not say. They will say yeah. They will say, well, PMI authorized training organization is not required to get past the PMP examination. But let me tell you, we are answerable. Our quality checks are done by PMI. We are answerable to PMI. We cannot miss out on any topics. We cannot miss out on any slides. But if you are not approved by the accredited, you are not an accredited training organization of PMI, people will teach you whatever they want to teach, and they will say, this is it. But no, we can't do that. This is one of the things which you can always keep it in mind. So I'll be happy to, thanks for connecting with us. And thanks for showing your interest. And I will be in touch with you. And those who have shown interest, I'll be happy to send you the details. Yeah. And thanks a lot for attending our session. So thanks everyone for making it to today for today's training program. And I hope once again the dates are given, just 500 dirhams or reals, 525 means adding the tax, and you are going to get your PMI PDUs, which is, I can tell you, and my claim is not. It's based on the real facts. It is one of the least cost effective, and with the trainer like me, who has got good experience and conducting the training programs for the last 22 years, and multiple PMPs have been certified after attending my session, and there are thousands means like not in hundreds and thousands. So you be also one of them, and I would be happy to put your name in the list. And if you don't want to become a PMP, then at least you can learn some tools and techniques, management tools and techniques of project management, and you can understand those fundamentals of project management after you attend my training program. So on that note, yeah, I'll be. And by the way, someone is asking, will you provide PMBOK latest edition? It is not required. By the way, no one can provide you that edition. No one can provide you. You have to get it from PMI separately. But you are not. It's not required. Why you want PMBOK? You are going to get a PM examination guide, which is the preparation book, which contains all the information of PMBOK. So the things have changed. Earlier you used to study from PMBOK, etc. Now the things have changed. In the last 2 years, you are given a project management guide. You have to study that, and that's enough. You will pass the examination. And attend my session, and you'll pass the examination. You'll understand all the concepts. That I can guarantee you. Okay, great. So thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot. Any other questions you have? Feel free to ask questions. Any other questions? Okay. Raja is asking, after taking membership, can I join any PMP training? Yeah, you can join any training PMP batch. You can join today if you join. We have multiple trainings batches. The next batches are also there. April batch is also there. May batch is also there. We have Saturday batches also. Saturday batch is also there, but that will be in April. They will be starting in March. May. So May batches, you'll have Saturdays, and even the evenings also 2 hours. That time it will be 2 hours. Due to Ramadan month, we have made it 1 hour for 1 month. Yeah. So great, Alec Bully. Thanks a lot. This session is recorded, of course, Shadi, and you can always access the recording and watch it as many times as you want. You will get the link. It's also live on our YouTube channel, and it's there on Facebook as well. So, and please join. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. So please write to me on LinkedIn, and you can follow me on LinkedIn. And I keep posting a lot of tools and techniques used in project management and quality management on a regular basis. Every day you can learn something from my posts. You can also like my page if you're in Facebook. Anexas Europe, Anexas LinkedIn. I go by the name of Amitabh Saxena. You can follow me there, and you can also just follow Anexas Europe in LinkedIn or Instagram or in Facebook, and you will get to know lots and lots of information there. All my future training programs, I keep update there, and you can also stay in touch with me. Anything else you would like to ask? So my LinkedIn page, yeah, is there already given. So I think today Niranjan had handled it. So Niranjan, you need to get all the links with you so that you can post it properly at the right time. So a lot of things we couldn't, I'm sorry, we couldn't post at the tools and techniques at the right time. So Ajay is telling, thanks for providing clarifications, and it was very interesting session. You're very friendly and teach the topic in simple, understanding ways. So yeah, thank you, thanks a lot. And that's what, see, that PMP, becoming PMP is not a very difficult task. People have made it out to be like something very, very difficult. It's not at all. It's very easy, and all of us can become PMPs. It's not a big thing. Sometimes, the people who have passed PMP examination, they make it as if I don't know why they do that, but like anyone can become PMP. Yeah. And also topics are not difficult. See, if you attend my sessions, everything will be very simple. And I taught you some of the difficult topics, by the way, today. And other topics are very easy, very easy. You can even read and understand. But I try to teach you some of the very difficult topics. So great. Any other question? Okay, so if there are no questions, then I just hear some of the recordings of my project management, and this will also guide you some of the PMP tips, and let's have a look. The team, if we can play some recordings of project management, the tips to pass the examination. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry, we are not able to hear clearly.
Let us learn about a very common concept that is so crucial that many companies that fail to understand correctly don't go very far. We're going to talk about change management. Not many people like. How important it is to adapt to a change? Does change management really affect the organic approach to deal with the organization's processes or technologies? The first to
was the video lagging, or it was only for me? I just wanted to check. So no problems. Let me give you one concept called conflict management, which is very much crucial when you're dealing as a project manager, something like conflict management. So
adapt and ultimately lost its global power.
Can we stop the video, please? Sorry for that. I think that video was lagging. So let me show you something. Hello, can you please stop the video?
You have a downfall due to lack of change.
Can you please stop the video, please? Yeah, I will just play the conflict management. Yes. So sorry everyone for this mess up. Sometimes it does happen. Yeah.
We humans have a very strange quality. You can call it self-respect, ego, pride, or the will to prove oneself right.
So are you able to hear this?
Right. This can be a common cause for a rise in conflicts. In an organization where there are many people working together, where some actions affect others, conflicts can occur more than frequently. And this is why conflict management is an extremely important subject to understand so that harmony can be maintained in the company at all times. Let me ask you a question first. Are conflicts good or bad? Well, some of you may say, how can conflict be good? Over the period of time, views on conflicts have changed. It was an old view that conflict is dysfunctional and caused by personality differences or a failure of leadership. Conflict is to be avoided, or conflict is resolved by physical separation or the intervention of upper management. Well, that was an old view. The new view is conflict is inevitable consequence of organizational interactions. Conflicts can be beneficial. Conflicts is resolved through identifying the causes and problem solving by people involved and their immediate manager. They can also be solved by referring to ground rules framed in the team charter, which was created at the beginning when the team started working together. Let us first understand what are the different types of conflicts. Conflicts can be divided into three main categories: task conflicts, relationship conflicts, and value conflicts. The task conflicts often involves issues related to an employee's work assignments and can include disputes about how to divide the tasks or resources, and also it can include different opinions about the work. Of the three conflicts, task conflict may appear to be the simplest to resolve. However, task conflicts often are more complex than they appear to be and need to be handled carefully. Some of the sources of conflicts are schedules. Someone told you that he will finish the work in 10 days and he didn't. This will result in a conflict. If you see carefully, your team or organization will benefit from this conflict because you are questioning the inefficiency. Priorities. Different people have different priorities. Maybe work that is important for the organization or a project, in your opinion, is not as important for someone else. Resources. We have limited resources. Two people might compete for the resources. Hey, I need that IT guy for 2 weeks. The other person says, sorry, he's not available. There's a conflict. Technical opinions. Technical opinions might be different, which might lead to conflicts. It is always good to explore all the possibilities in interest of the organization, and such conflicts can be good. Administrative procedures. People might not understand administrative procedures and might argue about it. Cost. Someone promised you that he will complete a job within the budget of $5,000, but now there is a cost overrun. Questioning would lead to conflicts, but would benefit the project or the organization. That was about task-related conflicts. Let us now look at relationship conflicts. This type of conflict arises due to differences in lifestyle, opinions, personality, and thoughts. In an organization, people with a vast range of lifestyles need to work together to reach certain goals. These people might not have common viewpoints or opinions, but still need to work in unison. It is obviously no surprise that relationship conflicts can be common in organizations. Value conflicts. This type of conflict arises from fundamental differences in identities and values. For example, differences in political, regional, and ethical thoughts or other deeply held beliefs. These types of conflicts can be difficult to resolve. But as they say, nothing is impossible. So let's see some of the conflict management strategies. Well, there are many different types of conflict management strategies, but I'm going to discuss the 5 major strategies. Before beginning, you must note one thing. Each strategy has its own benefits. There is no right or wrong conflict management style. As long as the style works for you, it can be called as perfect conflict management strategy. The first strategy is problem solving. Here, you confront the problem and solve it by identifying the root cause. For example, to resolve a conflict with a colleague in a project, you might say, well, it seems that the real problem here is not lack of communication, but lack of knowledge of what needs to be done and when. Here is a copy of the project schedule. It should let you understand what you need to know. The next strategy is collaborating. Collaborating involves a combination of being assertive and cooperative. Using this strategy, both sides can get what they want and negative feelings can be minimized. This strategy gives the best results when long-term relationships and outcomes are more important. For example, if 2 people want to lead the same project, you can divide the project into 2, and then you can divide the responsibilities into 2 and ask each of them to lead their respective teams while collaborating. This is a win-win solution. The next strategy is competing. It involves a combination of being assertive and uncooperative, when one aims to pursue their own concerns at another person's expense. This strategy can be used when you don't care about the relationship, but the outcome is more important. We can call it as a win-lose strategy. Like when we play a game, the focus is on winning. For example, when you wish to compete with another company for a new client, this strategy can be used. However, don't use this strategy in your own organization, as the strategy does not help build relationships. Yet another strategy is avoiding. Avoiding involves a combination of being unassertive and uncooperative. You can diplomatically step aside from an issue or withdraw from a threatening situation. This strategy should be used when you don't wish to immediately solve an issue but want to wait for the right time to solve the conflicts. The next strategy is accommodating. Accommodating is the opposite of competing strategy. There is an element of self-sacrifice here. Now, this may seem generous, but it could take advantage of the weak and cause a resentment. This strategy can be used when you don't really care about the outcome, but want to preserve the relationship. Maybe this relationship will give you long-term benefits. The next strategy, compromising. It aims to find a convenient and mutually acceptable solution that satisfies both parties to some extent. This strategy involves a combination of being a little assertive and a little cooperative. This strategy can be used when the outcome is not very important and you do not have enough time in hand. For example, to resolve a conflict between 2 persons, you can say, let us do a little bit of what both of you suggest. And the last strategy is forcing. It is about pushing one viewpoint at the expense of another. Do it my way, or sometimes, as many people say, my way or highway. The bosses often use this. As I said earlier, it's not that one strategy is better than the other. It depends on the situation. But in my opinion, problem solving that means confronting a problem by solving its root cause is the best one, if that is a possibility. Conflicts can be a part and parcel of your daily work, and this is why you should not be afraid when conflicts arise. There are things you can do, such as becoming more skilled and qualified in managing the conflicts. I hope this video helped you. For more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel.
Happy learning! Thanks for taking out time to watch this video.
I just wanted to know, once you attend our sessions, you can again repeat the sessions without paying any money, any number of times. So there is also one offer which is going along with the current one. So if you enroll for this batches, if you pay for, you can enroll for any of the batch, but if you pay in the next 2-3 days, you can attend our sessions any number of time in the future. Even after 7 or 8 months, you want to revise and before preparing for the exam, you can also do that. Okay, so thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. And my team can play some videos, or maybe they can answer the questions. And actually, I have to join another project management training and a Lean Six Sigma training starting the next few minutes. You can also join my Lean Six Sigma trainings. Greenbelt batch starting in the night for the Ramadan today. Please join me.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are on the path to becoming a great leader. In this generation where technology has become so advanced that it is available to everyone, the only competitive edge a company can get is by
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you sometime in the training program. And thanks for your time. Bye-bye.